Well, hello, my name's Gloria. Thanks for stopping by the Manna at the Tap podcast. I'm here with my friend Jennifer and co-host. It's Friday, March the 8th, 2024, the third week of the Lenten journey. Jennifer, how have you been doing as we've reached the halfway point?
Oh my goodness. This is the time of Lent where I start to get a little wriggly or something like that. Often as part of Lent, I let go of making major decisions. And I notice in the last few days, I want to make a lot of snap decisions really fast. I don't want to talk about them. I just want to do them quick. One of the artists that I follow online has a course that they've got marked down. I want to buy it right away. But for me, that's always just a sign that we are here at the middle and the Spirit has been doing all sorts of work in me and I need to stay the course. So part of what's happening right now is that I've been decluttering both internally and externally. And I came across some things the other day that remind me of an important truth that the Divine Family have been leading me towards for many years. And for me, that is that it's more important for the Spirit that I develop faith and live with faithful action than that I have all of my immediate desires met really quick. So I'm grateful that you asked, and that's where I am. The honest truth at the middle of Lent.
Well, we still got the last half to go, okay? The lectionary reading today is Psalm 107, verses 1 to 3 and verses 17 to 22. So let's see what spiritual food we can pick up to feed our souls today. Psalm 107 was a community hymn of praise that the pilgrims and worshipers would sing when they attended a festival in Jerusalem. As the pilgrims entered the place of worship, they would be given instructions to give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, his love endures forever. I imagine the music that accompanied the words of this song would be loud, feet would be dancing, hands would be clapping, and faces would be covered in smiles. The pilgrims and worshipers were asked to give thanks to the Lord out of their own lived experiences. They had been rescued, they had been redeemed, and they had been returned home with the help of the Lord. The reading from verses 17 to 22 describes the life of these pilgrims and what happened to them when they were away from home. Some had been exiled from their homes and were refugees wandering from place to place, trying to find another home as their lives and the lives of their families were ebbing away. They were deeply distressed and they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and the Lord came to their aid. Some suffered from being hungry and some were depressed. Their only hope was to pray to the Lord. And they discovered the Lord heard their prayer. And he not only heard their prayer, but he had the answer to their prayer. He saved them from their distress and he sent out his word and it healed them as they were at death's door. When these pilgrims remembered where they had once been, they could only give thanks to the Lord for his unfailing love and his wonderful deeds to them. Celebrating with community is a shared experience that reminds us of the words from Psalm 107, that they are still the story of people today. We have refugees wandering to and fro throughout the world, looking for a place to call home. The Lord is aware of their plight, and he hears their cry. The Lord wants us to have a place we can call home. And when we find home, let us not forget to give thanks and tell others of the Lord's wonderful works to us in songs of joy. Well, that's it for me, Jennifer.
Thank you, Gloria. I appreciate how, in talking us through this psalm this morning, you have helped me to feel the energy of this psalm, to notice the loudness of the music, the movement of the dancing feet and the clapping hands, and the energy of praise. And sometimes I read the Psalms pretty often, but sometimes they still stay stuck on the page. And so that image of movement and energy just really helps me to know the context and to recognize that praise grows out of these experiences that were so challenging. And I've had them in my life. I think we've all had them in our lives, experiences that were so challenging. And then as a community, we can come together and find, where is God in that with us? And when we find where God is, as we walk out those steps and come to a new place of home, either physically or spiritually, we have something hugely big. I'm looking for words and they're not coming. Hugely big to praise God for. And so sometimes we praise and it feels like it's a sacrifice of praise, but that shouldn't be a way of being that lasts for years, right? We should be able to be in conversation and see, oh, God has done this for me in this life, in this experience, and we can sing praise. We can gather together by Zoom or by YouTube or in person even. Imagine that, how novel. Um, to talk this through and to celebrate. So the image that I have is of going to a football game, or even, Gloria, you mentioned golf to me when we were talking earlier, that there's an energy and a celebration. And if I'm looking for a quiet space to read a book, I shouldn't go to a football game. And this is the kind of space we want to have, both kinds of spaces in our conversation with God and with one another as a community, both the quiet, contemplative, but also the energetic and filled with praise.
Well, that's so good, Jennifer. Well, I'm taking away some praising today. That's what I'll pick up for my manna. Okay, Jennifer, let's wrap her up and get on to the football. I think they say football on. I have no idea.
Curling. There's a great big curling match on for those who are looking for Canadian content.
Okay.
Thank you for being with us today. We're glad that you've joined us for Manna at the Tap. And I hope that you'll take a moment to reflect on what's happening in your own experience partway through Lent and to notice what manna you might pick up for the day. And we'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And of course, you can like and share and subscribe. Those all would help us as we try to share this experience with other people as well. Thanks so much for being with us today.